Representative Stokesbary, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Brooks. It was great. It's great to be here.
Now, and this is total speculation, but of course you submitted 1084 in the Washington State Legislature last January. Everything else is played out since then. My question is that and of course it's similar legislation. Did that inspire California at all? What was the genesis of what you did? And was this the bill that was submitted to a state legislature in this whole situation, what you did in Washington?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, my bill here in Washington was the first one in the whole country. The genesis was a colleague of mine and we sit next to each other on the floor of the State House. Last session in 2018, we were just kind of talking big picture. What are some really big things we could do that nobody's thought of yet? And we realized that there might be an angle to force the states into the conversation about compensating NCAA athletes. So we brainstormed a little bit, but it was way too late in the 2018 legislative session to do anything. And so we kind of hit pause. He actually, unfortunately, was not reelected, but I was. And so between the November 2018 election and the start of our session in January 2019, I worked with staff to come up with what became HB 1084. And it's been said that states are laboratories of democracy. And usually what that means in practice is anytime one of us state legislators has what we think is a good idea, our staff goes and looks to see what the other 49 states have done, because I'm not the smartest guy in the country, and odds are somebody smarter than me had an idea before me. And so the best starting place is usually to figure out what ideas are out there and what can we copy from. Well, it turns out that there was nothing else out there at the state level. There had been a bill, I think, in South Carolina a couple of years ago that would have required the universities to maybe set aside some money in a trust to pay student athletes directly once they graduated, but nothing that would sort of open up players' ability to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. So we kind of had to start from scratch, and we announced the bill, I think, on the eve of the National College Football Championship game, and it got a lot of attention. A couple days after, a state senator from California reached out to me. He was really interested. He wanted to do the same thing down in California. So we talked a little bit, and he ended up teaming up with Senator Skinner from California, their Senate Majority Whip, to introduce the bill that eventually passed. So Washington, certainly now that California and Governor Newsom signed that bill a couple weeks ago, Washington won't be the first to pass a law, but we were the first to introduce a law.